Begin take the lessons of elders of the consider to be human experience and see only they are sitting and not being very Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji studied 3 years college. I joined actually 2016 full time. And during this, I kind of perform distance. I was not used to. Lot of cultural and financial problem. Before we start to play here, we are this for and lot of the programs, a lot of difficulty and what are the things wants to do? Over the specific or all these things, so it is also very relevant. We are done with the Pakistan and also is currently participating in Bhakti and looking known for these resources, training resources for youth. Currently, we are serving various places. We are serving Mysore, where we have a small city. So he's serving there, part of the SJC voice. He's serving there also, and he's assisting. Is assisted by having a period to so we are very fortunate. Personally, my life actually have been blessed to not have a HLB and his Vaishnava units. And he was very similar to so we are very fortunate that he has come here. Yesterday, they were still in Maya for today's class is in time. I think some of them might be getting. So let us welcome Keshav to ISKCON Sarjapur Road morning Bhagavatam class. But now we have to Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naiškarmivapachyutavāvarjitam Vaśovadeyamanandiranjanam Tatpunashasvatabhadramīsvare Vichāpitam karma yadapyakaranam Naiškarmivapachyutavāvarjitam Vaśovadeyamanandiranjanam Tatpunashasvatabhadramīsvare Vichāpitam karma yadapyakaranam Naiškarmivapachyutavāvarjitam Vaśovadeyamanandiranjanam Tatpunashasvatabhadramīsvare Vichāpitam karma yadapyakaranam. Translation and purport by Divine Grace is Vedanta Samshaya. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material necessity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of the infallible. What then is the use of futile activities which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature, if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? As referred to above, not only ordinary literatures devoid of the transcendental glorification of the Lord are condemned, but also Vedic literature and speculation on the subject of the impersonal Brahman
when they are devoid of devotional service. When speculation on the impersonal Brahman is condemned on the above ground, then what to speak of ordinary fruitive work, which is not meant to fulfill the aim of devotional service? Such speculative knowledge and fruitive work cannot lead one to the goal of perfection. Fruitive work in which almost all people in general are engaged is always painful, either in the beginning or at the end. It can be fruitful only when made subservient to the devotional service of the body. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is confirmed that the result of such fruitive work may be offered for the service of the Lord, otherwise it leads to material bondage. The bona fide enjoyer of the fruitive work is the personality of Godhead. Thus, when it is engaged for the sense gratification of the living beings, it becomes a huge source of struggle. Om Jnanti Brandasya Jnanandjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manamurishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Prabhupada Mayam Dadati Svavadatikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Bhagavatam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsam Shri Rulam Sakrayatam Savaranatam Vitam Samsadivam Sadvaitam Sadvaitam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagarita Shri Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanande Namaste Saraswate Deve Namaste Pracharite Nirvishesha Shrimati Master Nadesh Ramade Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Verses. Bhagavad Gita 16.4. And the very crucial comes up. Look at this part. Bambudharmo vimanascha Bodhamarashudevacha Agyam Javijatasya Artha Sampadamasurim. So, Dambodharka vimanascha Bodhamarashudevacha Agyam Javijatasya Artha. The 16th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Divine and Demoniac Qualities. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demoniac nature. Because you look at works of other acharyas also, there they give a little different translation. But Prabhupada reconciles it in his purport, the same translation. Especially in the last part, which we will just read it. Read from here.
They do everything whimsically, according to their own desire, and they do not reproduce any of them. These demonic qualities are taken on by them from the beginning of their body, the roots of the bodies. And as they grow, they manifest all those.
These demoniac qualities are taken on from the beginning of their bodies in the wombs of their mothers. Yeah, why I am showing you this. You should know when the science of Bhagavatam actually applies to us and can change us. Okay? Then what is written over here is the person, whatever good qualities and bad qualities that he has coming from last life, they are fixed for them. Okay? They are completely fixed. for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his predecessor Acharyas who have come in life, rest of the youth, the Vaishnava Acharyas for that matter, they teach what is called as Vishnu. That takes slow, gradual transformation over millions of lives. Although one might have come to practice of Krishna consciousness or understanding Krishna to be the Supreme Lord and all these aspects over there. But if you have not understood what will the seed for this, then basically you follow that process which it will take long time. And these qualities remain the same as such. How much your pride, arrogance, conceit, cheating tendency that is there, that will remain as it is for them. That's why they say, no, take it home. The dog's tail as such, you cannot never make it straight for them. Even if you dip the dog's tail in water, still it will stand up. If you put it in a pipe, leave it for 10 years, remove the pipe, still it will stand up. You dip it in damper for that. Damper is the tar. Still it will stand. Only if through devotional service, the complete surrender can actually transform it. Right, little, jolly, happy, softy, and kind of boil is there, we are just going on the boil. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. That's why Prabhupada always used to say, Bhagavatam begins where Bhagavad Gita ends. Bhagavad Gita ends with Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Ekam Sharanam Vraja. And Bhagavatam begins with that. Dharma Projita Kaikavat Dharmanu Nirman Saranam. What do you this Sarva Dharman Parityaja, this Dharma Projita, what is it you have to understand properly? That Sarva Dharman Parityaja is not that, okay, give up all other dharmas. All other dharma means no Christianity, no Islam, Judaism. Some people sometimes think it in that manner. But that is not the understanding. Prabhupada in his lectures very clearly says, what is this dharma? This dharma is basically whatever other dharmas are there. Okay? Sri dharma, Putra dharma, Desh dharma, all these dharmas as such, they are subordinate to this dharma of surrendering to the Supreme Lord. Supreme. Okay? All these things have to be given a lesser priority when it comes to practicing pure devotional service. Okay? That is what is the understanding of Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Ekam Sharanam Vraja. In the song also, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur very nicely singing this part. Ami tava nitya dasa janinu ye bhara amara palana bhara ekho na tomara. What is telling? Ami tava nitya dasa janinu ye bhara. See, now I have surrendered to you. My Lord, now I have to surrender to you. Amara palana bhara. You have to take care of me. How you will take care, that is your botheration. I am not going to bother him. I am not going to bother him. Okay? So this he is singing after having 10 kids and his profession and all of that put together over there. Okay? So surrender doesn't mean joining Brahmacharya ashram. Surrendering means we give ourselves fully to Guru and Krishna for that matter. They will decide in what way we need to be in service to the Lord. In service to the Lord. That is what is the this. What should I? Should I change something? So, Amitav Nityadasa, Janinu Ebara, Amara Palana Bara, Ekona Tomara. Okay. This is very, very crucial when we have to understand pure devotional service. Now, if we don't give ourselves completely to the Supreme Lord, He will not take complete charge of us. Okay. Then we will be dependent on our intelligence, on our financial bank balance, on our political influence, on the words of our relatives, and social prestige. These kind of things will actually move us. Okay. In the purport, if you happen to see, that is why Prabhupada is bringing about this aspect very, very strongly. Yeah. First is not only ordinary literatures devoid of transcendental glorification of the Lord, but also Vedic literatures and speculation on the impersonal Brahman when they are devoid of devotional service. So all these are condemned for that. Okay? Ordinary literatures in the sense, whatever literature that we see today, pertaining to all kinds of material subjects and all of that. These at least have no standing in front of pure devotional service. But what to speak of these, even Vedic literatures for that matter. Even Vedic literatures which are devoid of the glorification of the Lord, they also stand condemned. They also stand condemned completely. Okay? And Prabhupada very nicely is telling, when speculation on the impersonal Brahman is condemned on the above, then what to speak of ordinary fruitive work? Okay? Ordinary fruitive work. Okay? Like we say, no, tum kis khet ki mooli ho. In the sense, basically, those people who are involved in karma, in the sense, gross materialistic activities with their karmic senses and all, these are those people who are in general, you will find them in the material world. Okay, that is how they are there. Okay, higher than these are gyanis who have overcome all tendencies of karma altogether. So these people are only condemned who are meditating on the impersonal Brahman and all of that, and they are like one amongst millions and all. Very less ratio, very less population. This population is only condemned. We can imagine. That is what is Bhagavatam purport is telling. What to speak of those who are below them. Okay, fruitive work in this world is by nature painful. Okay, यही संस्पर्श जब होगा दुख योना होते. So materialistic civilization or materialistic understanding of work or work culture and all, यही संस्पर्श जब होगा दुख योना होते. As soon as there is bhoga, as soon as there is selfish tendencies, it is pregnant with pain as such. Okay? It is pregnant with pain for that matter. Okay, just like you put something very sugary tablet in your mouth. You press it and then one rock comes in that small rock. Okay, outside it is very sugar, very sweet. As soon as it goes into the mouth, you bite it. There's so much of pain. That is what is materialistic pleasure in this world. So we should know as devotees, we should know better in one sense that we are not trying to strive for these kind of things. We are not trying to strive for these kind of things. Okay, especially when our consciousness gets tuned in that manner, then there is only pain. Okay? Whether we are devotees, whether we are non-devotees, whatever for that matter, then there is only pain. There is not only pain; it is increasing pain. Okay? In the material world, pain doesn't stop with that. It goes on increasing. So it's very crucial to understand how Prabhupada is putting it over here. It can be fruitful only when made subservient to the devotional service of the Lord. Okay, fruitive work and impersonal speculation or scriptural study and all, it can only be fruitful when it is made subservient to the devotional service of the Lord. Okay, that is what is the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. I'll just show you one verse. Okay, I'll just read it, then we'll look at the translation. So this is Madhurya Kadamini. So Prabhupada quotes this many times in the sense all the different stages that are there and this book also. So Hridvapare Navabhakti Shasya Vitate Sanjeevani Swagama Rambe Kama Taparutaha Damani Vishwa Pagulosani Duran Me Maru Shakinopi Sarasi Bhavaya Bhuyat Prabhu Sri Chaitanya Kripa Nirankusha Maha Madhurya Kadambani. The mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an uncontrollable bank of sweet nectar whose sudden appearance fully regenerates the grains of ninefold bhakti in the field of the heart, extinguishes the burning summer heat of lust, and bestows rapture to the universal river of living beings. From far off, may those clouds of the Lord's mercy give satisfaction and pleasure even to this worthless soul, a dried up tree in the desert as such. Okay. So what I wanted to highlight was this aspect.
Sri Chaitanya Kripa Nirankusha. Okay. So it's very crucial to understand that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Kripa Nirankusha is very, very crucial for that matter. Okay. If you go to Tirupati Balaji, how many people come daily, Tirupati Balaji? Many Andhra people are here. How many are here, Telugu? How many people come, Tirupati Balaji? Shiva Prabhu, Chapu. 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs very less. Easily it will be more than that. What's that? 1 lakh. Anyway, it's a huge number. It's a huge number. Okay. First is Vatican, second is Tirupati. Anyway. So many people come over there, take darshan of the Lord, and then they continue back as such. Okay, but if you happen to see the sense of transformation that happens, okay, the bhoga, how much of their bhoga are they able to give up, and these things and all, they are like big question marks over there. Okay, many people come with a full list as such. Okay, when you go to shopping mall, they give that printed bill, no? They get the bill there only to Balaji. Okay, in front of Balaji, all the bill they are reading. Oh, I need this, I need that. No, this much money is required, that much money. The full bill they are reading. Okay, but when this aspect is understood, Sri Chaitanya Kripa Nirankusha. Okay, in this age of Kali Yuga, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy comes into the life of an individual, only that can transform tremendously. That can transform tremendously. Okay, that is why many Westerners and all of that, they are hopeless cases. If you look at the Vedic literatures, you cannot consider them under the Vedic fold only. Okay? Those people who are Malechas, Yavanas, cow flesh eaters, and all of them, you cannot bring them into the Vedic sciences only for that matter. That is how, what can I say, disastrously ruthless it is for them. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is such that even such people as such can easily get qualified to the highest degree, qualified to the highest degree for that matter. Okay? So this is something we have to understand for ourselves and for everyone else also. Okay? These people, the basic followers of Vedic literatures and all, the main problem over there is they are not accepting the authority of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the position of Chaitanya. Okay, and that is where all the, what can I say, degradation happens. Degradation happens. Okay, only Vedic sciences just following some kind of sadhana bhakti, which is devoid of proper understanding of the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all, will not help. Okay, just chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, not knowing how is it related to the Supreme Lord, in what way am I developing Krishna consciousness, these things and all, one has to study it very, very properly, very, very nicely. Okay? Main obstacles that affect the practitioner are offenses and sins. Okay, offenses and sins for that matter. Okay? Sins come as per prarabdha karma. The prarabdha karma, to get exhausted, it will take 1 day of Brahma for that matter. Okay? Somebody is interested to wait for 1 day of Brahma to bring about good amount of transformation in their heart, to get rid of these things, what we just now read, no? Okay, all of these things were there. Dambodharpa, Vimanascha, Krodha, Parushamevacha. Okay? So if you just look at by the science of prarabdha karma, extinguishing prarabdha karma, it will take minimum 1 day of Lord Brahma's duration. Not our 1 day, not Brahma's 1 day. That much is the time required. Okay? Now, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy acts very, very fast when it is properly understood. Okay? Yeah, offenses and sins, these are the major obstacles as such. Okay? Now, if you look at the Vedic fold, how is it they try to get rid of offenses and sins is, that is by practicing a lot of austerities, doing a lot of tapasya, and following all the Vedic dharma. Okay? That dharma which Krishna is telling to reject, altogether. Sarva dharma and parityaja for that matter. Okay? They are told to, they are prescribed that you follow this slowly, gradually, step by step, you transform that. Okay? But I'm sorry, I was suffering from cough before going to Mayapur itself. Some students were there, I decided to go. And while coming back, there were floods in Kolkata. Kolkata is almost like was underwater, so we had to walk in water for a few kilometers. Water was still almost like knees. Anyway, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy only. Kolkata is Prabhupada's birthplace. Yeah, offenses and sin, these form the major obstacle. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says is very, very different. Okay, how to get rid of offenses and sins is very, very different. And Prabhupada also employed the same formula, which as on date, we try to keep it in the border of our practice. Okay, I repeat, the way to get rid of offenses and sins, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did it in one way. I'll explain that. And the Prabhupada also employed the same way. Okay, but as on today, we keep it at the border of our practice. That is why Bhakti appears very dry or very routine or very, very crude for that matter. Okay, those days what happened? Some of the sannyasi disciples of Prabhupada, they declared Prabhupada to be God. Okay? Prabhupada became so furious, he threw them out of the society only. When they came to Prabhupada, no, we are very sorry and things like that. Then Prabhupada told them, no, you should go and preach. Go and preach and open. He gave a number of temples also. Open these many temples, then only I'll accept you back. And these devotees went, they opened the temples also. Then Prabhupada again accepted them back. Why Prabhupada did that was, this was a severe offense they committed. And they are Westerners. So no need to speak about sins also. Okay. Just like Jagai Madai, they used to read scriptures and they used to make notes from scriptures. As per the notes, they used to go and break regulatory principles. Okay, in the scriptures it is said, if you commit this sin, you'll go to this hell. Then deliberately they'll go and do that sin. That was the, what can I say, precision they had when it came to committing sins. That kind of precision they had. Oh, accurate every time for that. Nothing less than sin they would do every day. Yeah. And so Prabhupada told the sannyasi disciples, go and preach. This will, then I'll accept you back. With this, what happens? When a person intensely takes to this process of giving out Krishna consciousness, and he gets so much of mercy, flood of mercy, that these offenses and sins gets flushed off like anything. Okay, gets like flushed out very, very fast. Okay? That is why Prabhupada writes, it is more important to go daily outdoor kirtan, he writes. He doesn't even write Harinam Sankirtan. He calls it as outdoor kirtan, means all speculations eliminated over there. It is more important to do outdoor kirtan than to complete 116 rounds also. Prabhupada writes in one letter over here. Some time back, I was doing some research on Pancharatric Vidhi, Bhagavat Vidhi and all. Then I was doing some study what all Prabhupada said about Sankirtan. One quote like this I found, something related to like that. Okay. When I did a search and all, it was like exhausted. So many quotes are there. So many quotes are there. That is why traditionally people and all had very different conception of deity worship also. Okay. This and that and all. But Prabhupada said, like one devotee wrote to Prabhupada, preaching it is, we are not able to go to preach here, deity worship and all, it's taking time. Prabhupada said, throw the deities in the ocean over there. Preaching should not stop as it. To such a degree even. Okay? I'm not trying to generalize that. Okay, but we should understand what is the what can I say, message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? Only when we practice it in true perspective, understand it in true perspective, then we can expect the offenses and sins to get eliminated. Okay? If not, this will only remain in our heart. Dambo, Darpa, Abhimanascha, Krodha, Parusham, Evacha. Prabhupada gives a very appropriate analogy and an example to explain that. He says, okay, that let's say when the country is at threat, okay, then the armed forces are there at the border fighting the party, enemy as such. Okay, and when they're fighting the opposite enemy party, at that point of time, what is happening? All the country's resources, whatever is there, they are given to the armed forces. Everything for that matter. Prabhupada says whatever they want, they are given. Even if they want sex for that matter, that is also supplied to them. Okay? Because if that unit of the country collapses, then the whole country only collapses for that. So whatever is needed for them, everything is supplied. Same way, when the person takes this, what can I say, consciousness of giving Krishna consciousness to others, the Supreme Lord is forced to flood his heart with mercy, cleanse the offenses and sins in his heart. Because if he is not pure over there, he will not be able to preach so properly. Okay, now, who has to take responsibility? Krishna only has to take. So whatever sins and offenses and material desires, everything there in the heart, everything gets washed away just like that. Okay, just like that. Okay? But without this, okay, you do anything else for that matter. You apply any other process, you apply anything, you take bath with the cow urine, you like drink this sharbat, that sharbat, and you reduce your pitta, you reduce your vata, whatever you try to do, nothing as such will help. Nothing will help for that. But people nowadays, many people speak on these lines and all, but it is nowhere going to be effective over there. Nowhere going to be effective. Our college preaching and all, if you happen to see, in one sense, it is little bit biased. Okay, because we segregate the crowds over there. Okay, we have like full mechanism for segregation. Correct, no? Those who are involved in college preaching, you will know. Full mechanism we have. We fill the form. These people, they tick this over there. These people are rejected. Those people are accepted, etc., etc. Okay? The very fact we are segregating somebody qualified and not qualified means we are understanding that is not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's way of doing things over there. Okay? What is that? Very nice word. पात्र विचार नहीं नाही स्थाना स्थान जहां देखे तहां करे प्रेमदान करे प्रेम. So he is a person who doesn't see patra and apatra. Okay, so especially if we are involved in college preaching, we have to think about this. How much are we doing a patra and things like that. Okay, but when you are doing it in a biased manner, then even there we will not get that kind of purification which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu promises. Okay, but when it comes to these kind of services, going out and giving the holy name, etc., etc., that is very, very crucial. That can transform the heart like anything. Okay? Even someone might be doing pujari service also. My spiritual master, His Holiness Japatak Swami Maharaj, he says, okay, that the best preachers in Mayapur are Jananivas Pro and Pankajangri Pro. Okay? Because all the time when they are worshipping the deities, they are praying to the deities. So many people are coming and taking your darshan. Please give them your mercy. Make them your devotees. Please give them your mercy. Make them your devotees, etc., etc. Okay. So when we are fixed up in this kind of a consciousness of getting everyone to Krishna's lotus feet, then the sins and offenses get cleansed very, very fast. Okay. If not, this jnana, karma, the anavritam will never understand. Okay. How does the shloka begin? Anya abhilashita shunyam, jnana, karma, the anavritam will never understand. Okay. Free from fruitive desires and mental speculation will never understand for that matter. Never understand. Okay. So this is something very, very crucial to understand the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in our practices. Prabhupada says also, it is more important, Bhagavatam only writes one purport, it is more important to explain Bhagavatam than to read Bhagavatam oneself. Okay, everywhere he has put forward this paradigm that Parupakar is very, very crucial and more important than Janma Sarthak. Okay? Only when you do sufficient Parupakar, that will lead to sufficient of purification. Okay? Then, you can do more of, what can I say, your own, focus on your own self, try to do things more, go deeper in bhakti or whatever you call it. Okay? But in the initial stages and all, we should be burning, all our energies, all our priorities, in making, the will of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu happen. Lastly, over here, put very beautifully the last part. After this, I'll just read one purport, then we'll open up for questions. Yeah, here. Now, the bona fide enjoyer, the bona fide The bona fide enjoyer of the fruitive work is the personality of Godhead. And thus, when the results of such work are engaged for the sense gratification of the living beings, those results become acute sources of trouble for such false enjoyers. In this material world, material pleasure even doesn't even make a material logical sense. In this material world, material pleasure doesn't even make material logical sense. I'll give an example. Okay? You take any young man as such in this world, he wants to kiss a woman and get pleasure from that, etc., etc. Okay? As per medical science, the anus of a human being has a lesser number of germs than the man's mouth also, for that matter. Okay? Than the man's mouth also. Okay? If a person is thinking of kissing and getting pleasure, as per this, if you have to analyze, I think you it is understood. Did you get what I said? Okay. Even a material logical sense it doesn't make. Material pleasure of this world doesn't even make material logical sense also. Okay. Outside world, people are like very stunned by this kind of enjoyment and all that is portrayed over there. Okay. About the body of the opposite sex, songs are written, poetries are written, movies are made, etc., etc. Now, all that is just a simply illusory understanding of enjoyment. The true enjoyer is the Supreme Lord only. Okay, we are just we are meant to be enjoyed by Him. We are meant to be enjoyed by Him. And any other position we take, we only stand to suffer. Okay, we only stand to suffer as such. Just read one purport here. Very nice purport. This is the 429.1b. Okay. Here is the translation. Yeah.
In this world, the Lord is to indicate this means reaching this is what other kinds of preach
And Prabhupada gives that verse. Because here it is written they cheaply try to imitate Haridas Thakur, but that also they don't do properly for that matter. Okay, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Haridas Thakur only. Suno suno Nityananda, suno Haridas, Hamara Agyaya hai karo prakash, prati ghare ghare diya maki ye diksha, bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, karo Krishna shiksha. Okay, see Haridas Thakur agreed for this, and along with this he was chanting 192 rounds. He didn't say, I have my rounds remaining, I can't go for preaching and all those things. Yeah, that never existed. Along with 192 rounds, he was doing this part also. Okay. So we should encourage our both, increase your chanting, reading Bhagavatam and all of that, but there should be no compromise when it comes to Paropakar that we are trying to do. Because we are not qualified to do Paropakar. Gladly, there's a service to Prabhupada and all, as per his order, we try to give this message to others. In doing that, we realize it ourselves, as it is written over here, no? If one realizes that he is an eternal servant of Krishna but does not preach it, his realization is imperfect. Imperfect. Okay? The best way, that is why, no, with the passage of time, see, all of you who started maybe practicing in college time or so, it's been at least like 4 or 5 years. How many here have been practicing for 4 or 5 years now, till now? Okay. 3 or 2 years? Okay. Fine. It's good enough, sufficient amount of philosophy, everything is known to you. So you'll get many people. Whole world is a market now, in one sense. Okay. Let's summarize. So the verse itself is quite a summary. Naishkarmyam apyachyuta bhava vrajitam. Naishkarmya in the sense selfless work in this world, which is devoid of achyuta bhava. Okay? Which is devoid of Krishna consciousness, varjitam, that itself is condemned. What to speak of that, even Jnanam for that matter, Jnanam is also condemned. There is no need to speak about selfless work also. Okay? Na charpitam karma yadyappa karanam, for that matter. Kuta punah shashvat abhadram ishwar. They are very painful, Prabhupada is writing. They are not just condemned, they are very painful for that matter. Painful. So this was the first part of the verse. And in the purport, Prabhupada was writing in relation to these two. Finally, he ended with how Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. How Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. I spoke on those lines. After that, I described the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in relation to these, how to get rid of this karma and jnana that affect every living entity. We can't escape that. Okay? We can't escape that. Nai suptasya simmasya pravishante mukhe mriga. Okay? Even a simha, no, who is a lion, lion is called as the king of the jungle. Even the king of the jungle has to work in this material world. Okay? You cannot escape karma and jnana. Okay? But you can surely conquer it by Sri Chaitanya Krpa Nirankusha. Okay, they are like elephant, but Ankusha, you understand, no? That which is used to control the elephant. So you can direct this elephant of unnecessary mental speculation and fruitive work in devotion service and use it to get liberated from this world altogether. Okay? Yeah. With this, I conclude. Anybody has any questions or queries? Okay. I'm really sorry. I had a cough. So try to do my best. India, they will do. India, they can do. Little, little. Very little. Visibly, very little. It's a fact one. How is it? No, like, see, Vedic times people had fever. For fever, you can give maybe like imbuli or something like that, some small tablet and get rid of that. Okay, Kali Yuga fellows are like fourth stage, third stage cancer as such. So you have to give them full dose and direct dose and to just like rocket speed, they have to get transformed. Little, some sugar tablet and all will not help. Understanding? Some small chanting, you chant any mantra, worship any devata and all, that is not going to help as such. They have to, Prabhupada says like, let's say somebody has got some little skin disease, you put little ointment. Now imagine full body is only skin disease. You have to dip him in ointment only. Okay? Like that, you have to drench them in the mercy of bhakti as well. Anything less than that will not work. Please repeat, please repeat.
So, the other way, we try to take a general, but it happened that people get out of the, but it happened because they are not trying to they are submitting the law and they are not going to think of the other because they are so in that way, that case, they are to send
No, segregation is not wrong. Now, let's say you get people here, you get people at this level, you get people at this level. What segregation I meant was, we segregate that, then we reject these lower fellows altogether. You understood now? That is condemned over there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also segregated. He met the six Goswamis and all, he gave them exclusive time. Where other places, South India and all, he came, he just embraced people and went ahead. You will not find Rupa Shiksha somewhere in South India where he's sitting with one South Indian and giving like full, over there. Six Goswamis, they spent months and months together over there. Same way, like that, those people who have developed that level, and who can take to those kind of services and all, yes, exclusive focus, everything has to be given to them. But others we reject over there. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, no, he never considered anybody to his friend to be his friend or enemy as such. We have to come to that level of consciousness. You have to understand everybody is part and parcel of the Lord. Somehow they have to get engaged in service of the Lord. Even if they leave voice, even if they initially register, then they're able to find it difficult. Somehow we have to devise means by which at least they remain in touch with association of devotees, maybe later on pick up, something like that. At least in your consciousness it should happen. At least the least thing is at least in your prayers it should happen. That also we don't do. Point is that is the problem, main problem. You're getting, no? It is good at our stage. Eventually we understand, okay, no, there is much more sweeter things also. Yeah, no? See, we understand going back to Godhead is part of the process. We don't understand that to be the ultimate goal. At least that we are clear of. Clear, no? At least we don't try to justify our position. तो इतना बस हो गया अभी, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है. मैं यहाँ पे जा रहा हूँ तो यही हाईएस्ट है, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है. Okay? Yeah. See, those days how it was. Before the time of Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur, all these Babajis and all were there. But most of them, they started to get into illicit sex, ganja, smoking ganja, drinking bidi, all of those kind of things. Yeah. That time Bhaksan Thakur understood, no, this cannot go on. We have to put it a very institutional, disciplined front. That is why he brought Varnashram into force very strongly. Varnashram in the sense everything. Grihasthashram, Brahmacharya Ashram, Vanaprasthashram, Sannyasashram, everything happened. Okay. First part. Secondly, to be a Bhajananandi is not so easy over there. It's not so easy. Yeah? To purely chant the holy names 24 hours a day and all is not so easy for them. Okay? And these people also have very deep realizations and revelation. On the strength of that, they do. It's not that whimsically they do. Those people who do whimsically, like during Prabhupada times, one person came and asked Prabhupada, I'll chant 192 rounds. Prabhupada said, don't do. Yeah? Still he continued to chant. And then devotees asked, Hey, Prabhupada told you not to do, why are you doing? No, for me, he said no because everybody else was there. But he actually meant for me to do. Then he continued doing that whimsically. Then finally he stopped that also. Clear, no? True Bhajananandi is like Haridas Thakur. Perfect example. 192 rounds also, he'll stand preaching also, he will do. See, Haridas Thakur, his preaching is compared to Sarpagrasta. Okay? Sarpagrasta in the sense, anybody here got a snake bite? Yeah, there is in villages and all, these are quite ordinary. Every other day somebody is getting snake bite or something like that keeps happening. No? Sarpagrasta in the sense, let's say a person has to die, snake will bite how many times? Once as a Thakur, okay. Same Haridas Thakur, his preaching, his bhajan as such was so potent, so pure, that wherever he went for preaching, no, he just used to tell people, no, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, please start chanting Hare Krishna for that matter. Done as such, everything is over. No DYS, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Sarvabhauma, everything is done as such. One shot as such, everything is over. It's called Sarpagrasta, you understand? No, one does in okay. So true Bhajananandis will be like that. Like our Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, he was in touch with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But he used to sit in his classes over there. He used to say, no, my dear Prabhu, he used to call him like that. Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj used to address Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as, oh, my dear Prabhu. Those are actually Bhajananandis in that sense. They do it by the will of the Lord, and not whimsically they do. They are very deeply realized souls, and they get proper indications from the Lord on the strength of which they take up. And let's say somebody is desirous of being a Bhajananandi and all, then he'll get test also. Like Haridas Thakur was chanting 192 rounds. He got prostitute also. Clear, no? Somebody thinks, okay, let me just do chanting only chanting daily. I'll chant 32, 64 rounds. Or be ready for the other part also that Haridas Thakur word. Maya will also become powerful. Okay? See, when we subordinate to a worthy guru and then do things as per his instructions and all, then it's a controlled organic shock treatment. Little if you get. Okay? But somebody directly wants to just dive. There he'll get shocks like that also. You should be ready for that. Right? Yes, bro. By preaching, I didn't mean giving class. I told also, give example of Pujari, everything for that. We have to fix our consciousness in the understanding that this message has to be given to everyone. You are in office, whether you are walking on the street, everywhere for that matter. Everywhere you can do that. It's not that you have to sit and give a class only, then it's called preaching. No, it's not a universal rule. These are all ISKCON Vacha as such. The people quote that Sachimata pastime. That no, even if let's say somebody is the mother of the Supreme Lord, even she'll not be forgiven for offenses as such. So it becomes like eternal indemption, they call it. In the sense either here or no hell for eternity, like that as such. So you commit Vaishnava Aparadh, hell for eternity. Okay? Let's say somebody has voluntarily committed offense to somebody and all, then no, we do that part with a deep sense of remorse and understanding that we did something wrong. We go and beg for forgiveness. Okay. Case comes up that he doesn't forgive. No, bro, I'm not going to forgive and all. Then our Acharya say, just take shelter of the holy name in a deep mood of repentance. Continue your devotion service. You know, this applies for those devotees, like in the sense practicing devotees. But those people who are like super advanced and all, let's say somebody offends them, then the reactions might not be ordinary. In the sense that these great souls might be so advanced that they can implicitly forgive, and Krishna also will not interfere in that situation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in that Vaishnava in that book, no. So great souls, offending great souls, how it responds, you cannot predict over. But in general, yes, Vaishnava Aparadh is Vaishnava Aparadh. Those paradigms and all hold very true. That we have to be very careful of that and those aspects. Please repeat. Are there any? I quoted Prabhupada dealing with his sannyasi disciples. I quoted Prabhupada example of army and soldier. By preaching. This is what Prabhupada says. If you want references, the conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur. The question comes up, what kind of chanting gives maximum purification? Okay. There it is said that the loud chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra gives maximum purification. Okay. Because when goes out and one gives the holy name very loudly, then many living entities receive the holy name. By this, the Supreme Lord is very pleased, and this gives mercy to the living entity, and he's advancing very fast. There it is said. Advancing very fast means getting rid of offenses and sins. This is the reference. What I heard. Sorry, I think I went 13 minutes overboard. All of you are very patiently sitting. Thank you so much. Okay. Actually, Dinesh wanted me for tomorrow. Saturday, he told Saturday other IVF devotees will be there and all. But tomorrow already some things are packed up, IDC and all. And then. Thank you. Correction.